Hello everyone, Frost here. Welcome back to another classic WoW video. Previously we showed and discussed 6 low-level grinding spots for upcoming classic WoW. Today we're going to explore 3 more spots because there's an innate feeling of joy when you see multiple digits of gold in your vanilla backpack. Some of you said, Frost, stop showing secrets. I say that after more than a decade of a game being released, there are not that many secrets remaining. Kalindor and Eastern Kingdom are filled with treasures at every step, and those who are not lazy will be richly rewarded. So without further ado, let's explore. First grinding spot is in Duskwood. Duskwood was not always the way it appears now. It used to be the southern part of Elven Forest. What remains now is the location of 2 sizable towns called Darkshire and Ravenhill, after the area was overcome by a shadow curse and forgotten by Stormwind. It all started when a night elf came to town with an object called the Sight of Elune and lost it into a mine. The sight began to curse the area, turning the skies dark and summoning worgons all around. The powerful weapon was later found by Jitters, who was part of a team of men who had entered the mine looking for the source of its darkness. Jitters picked up the weapon, triggering its effect of summoning. The mine was immediately filled with worgon, who then proceeded to rip the men apart. Jitters escaped with the weapon, but was haunted by the worgon across the woods, which were steadily darkening with the released curse. Today we're going to profit from this curse and try to make some decent amount of gold in Ravenhill Cemetery, which holds the graves of numerous people who have been killed by wild beasts and undead since the darkness fell. The item we're looking for is grave moss, and you might be wondering, but Frost, don't you need herbalism to gather grave moss? And the answer is yes and no. No, at least for this area, where you're required to kill mobs in order to collect them. However, having herbalism will just boost your gold per hour. The mob we're after is the Rotted One, which is a level 25-26 undead located in the core of Ravenhill Cemetery. Once you kill the Rotted One, 2 flesh-eating worms will spawn. Don't panic, they only have 1 HP. Make sure you use a rank 1 spell, for example Arcane Explosion or Frost Nova, to preserve mana and have less downtime, or whatever works for your class. The main source of gold from this spot is the grave moss, which is dropped by the 2 flesh-eating worms that are spawned after killing the Rotted One. Being the only item on the loot table, the moss will drop in stacks up to 3. This is a herb that usually grows on graves. It's pretty rare and it's used in making shadow oil and shadow protection potion, where the shadow oil can be used further in tailoring and making greater shadow protection potions. The average price for grave moss on the auction house is from 30 to 60 silver each, yet again depends on your server's economy. Prices skyrocketing on Naxxrama's release and during its progression due to bosses like Loateb and Kel'Thuzad requiring shadow protection. There are 7 spawn points for the Rotted Ones, and in between you'll find flesh eaters, bone chewers and plague spreaders. Don't be too shy to kill them, because they can drop level 19 twink items such as Forest Letter Bracers, Feet of the Lynx, Twisted Chanter Staff, and so on. On top of this, part of your gold will be made from wool and silk cloth. Make sure to sell your wool cloth during peak times, as the prices might go twice or 3 times above the marketplace due to wool being a rare cloth and people mass buying it. Silk cloth on the other hand, it's more abundant and the prices might go even under 40 silver a stack. If that is the case, make silk bandages or heavy silk bandages and just vendor them. You'll make more than selling to auction house. I'd say this is one of the best gold making spots for mid-20s with potential of becoming the best at the right time. During 1 level of Rested XP grind, I managed to make about 25 golds, considering an average price for the grave moss. Second grinding spot is in Stone Talon Mountains. These mountains are the home of the Harpies. However, recent years have brought invaders in the form of Night Elves and Tauren who worship at Stone Talon Peak. goblins who are cutting down the trees in the east, and the Horde who have established a camp in the center of the zone. Stone Talon Peak is where Night Elves and Torrent used to worship together in peace, although those days seems to be over. The evil Torrents of the Grim Totem tribe have a base in the south. The mountains are also where the Horde and Alliance temporarily united to fight off the Burning Legion, and where Troll and Jaina met with Malfurion and Tyrande to formulate a plan for the Battle of Mount Hyjal. All this conflict opened doors for gold-making opportunities. Today we're going to venture in the southwestern part of Stone Talon to a place known as the Charred Vale. Here we're going to acquire elemental fire from the Burning Ravagers and Burning Destroyers. Elemental fire is a rare ingredient used in a variety of professions, crafts such as Robe of Power, Field Repair Bot, Greater Fire Protection Potions, Goblin Mortar, and so on. There's always demand for elemental fire and the price can go up to 5 gold, and sometimes even 8 gold. This will mostly occur during Molten Core, Onyxia and Blackwing Lair progression, and it will be a sought after ingredient for all of the vanilla timeline. The Destroyers have a 6% drop chance, and the Ravagers a 5% drop chance. This is an RNG heavy grind, and most of the time elementals will drop nothing. It can become tedious and boring. To keep yourself sane, start killing Harpies while you wait for the elementals to respawn. Harpies drop a lot of wool and silk cloth, grey items and the occasional green. Herbalism is good here, as you can find King's Blood and Bryantthorn. Both of these herbs are pretty valuable and will get you some extra gold on the long run. Or, if you're a miner, you will find iron, silver and gold deposits scattered across the Charred Vale. One of the other good things about farming here is the chest. You will find treasure chests around the vale. Generally the chest will contain a green, some silver, a few herbs, some ore and some cloth, maybe even a potion or two. The estimated gold per hour here it's hard to predict due to the unstable nature of the economy, but nevertheless this spot has potential of becoming the best mid-20s spot in vanilla. Third grinding spot is in Arathi Highlands. The Arathi Highlands were the home of the first great human state, the Empire of Arator. Eventually the empire collapsed and its capital city, Storm, was left to a group of guardsmen who renamed it to Stormguard and turned it into a fortress. Arathi was overrun by the Horde in the Second War, but the guardsmen managed to rebuild Stormguard and its sister village Hammerfall, which was turned into an orc internment camp. The villages got destroyed again in the Third War against the Burning Legion, and the survivors gave up and created a small alliance camp at Refuge Point. Today, Stormguard is divided between humans, ogres, and the criminal syndicate, while Hammerfall is a horde-based camp. There's also a small cove with pirates in the south, which few ever see because it's very hard to get to. Today we're not going to focus on any of the above, but instead we're going to focus on the exiles. I'm talking about the Thundering, Cresting, and Burning Exiles, which are air, water, and fire elementals with levels between 38 and 39. They are located in the center, northeastern, and western part of Arathi Highland. The items they drop are Thundering, Cresting, and Burning Charms, used in the Essence of Exile quest, which is part of the Warrior Whirlwind Axe chain. These items drop without the requirement of having the quest, neither a requirement of class, so anyone could farm them. Warriors can acquire the quest at level 30, and they won't be able to complete it without help. That's why they'll usually opt for buying them from auction house, especially people that level warrior alts because they have the gold. The drop chance for the quest items seem to be above 50%, and for some weird reason they seem to have a higher drop chance for the elementals as well. Unfortunately, the elemental air and water sell for about 10 to 20 silver, while the elemental fire goes up to 5 gold. This will make the price of the charms unbalanced. The charms usually sell for prices between 20 silver and 1 gold, with the cheapest one being the burning charm due to a lot of people grinding them for elemental fire. If you really want to grind here, make sure you check the prices on the auction house before. I'd recommend staying away from the Burning Exile during peak times and focus more on the Thundering and Crescents. All said and done, have a nice grind. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. We're only midway with the low-level grinding spot videos, more to come until we start making level 60 gold making guides. If you have any questions, you can also find me on Twitch sometimes, there will be a link in the description. This will also be the channel where I'll stream Classic in the future. My plans for Classic are starting to get a shape and I'll be making a mixed guild PvP and PvE. If you want to be part of it, join the Discord, which is also in the description. Until next time, stay frosty.